Welcome to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're here to talk about what goes on in the village, the township. You know, those people that make laws, regulations, and ordinances that affect you out there.
That's right, Elgin. And whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Oxford Township, or Addison Township, these are the people that you went and elected, and the committees and the commissions that make decisions that directly affect you, whether you chose to go to that meeting or not, which could be very taxing for you.
You want to make sure, like David says, attend these meetings because there's information out there that you may not be aware of, and it could come back and it could hurt you in the form of humor.
You lost that opportunity to object.
You did. However, if you do miss a meeting, you can tune into Oxford Community Television by going to our website, occtv.org.
Click on program.
And you got us there in terms of whatever meeting you want to watch.
Yep.
Hey, that's pretty simple, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Isn't America a great place?
That.
Yeah, even you could do that. With a little bit of training and a monkey, you could do it. Right.
Keep the monkey.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we've got a number of meetings we want to talk about. The first one we're going to talk about is the Oxford Township Planning Commission meeting. That's kind of an interesting one. And then we're going to talk about our old favorite, the Oxford Area Cable Communications Commission meeting.
They droned on.
And you were there. Yes, they did drone on. And if we get a chance, I got a couple little tidbits I want to mention concerning the latest special meeting that the Oxford Township Board of Trustees had. And that was just held last
meetings.
night. Yeah.
They narrow their field of vision and they target on one single thing usually.
You know what goes on in those meetings?
What?
Special things.
Ooh.
That's why they're called special meetings, of course. Okay.
Well, so smart.
I know. It rubs off. Anyway, Oxford Township Planning Commission meeting is headed up by the chairperson, Mike Young. Mike Berger sits on that board, and Jack Curtis, John Nold, and let me see, Kelly Rostner Myers is on that board as well, and Mike Spiz from the county.
Right, he's a commissioner.
Yes, and so anyway, they wanted to get on with it. They did the pledge and got the preliminaries out of the way. But when they approached the minutes, Kelly Rostner had some disagreements with the minutes, the way they were written, that there were a number of errors supposedly within the minutes.
She begs to differ.
Yeah, she does. Well, she didn't beg too much. She just made a point of it. And so she wanted to delay the motion to approve it until they could review the numerous errors within those last month's minutes that they had. So anyway, the rest of the commissioners, after kind of a lengthy discussion that went on, they decided they would do that. They would approve to redo the minutes. In other words, get them straight.
But she identified all those places that she wanted changed.
Well, I think there's a long list, and I don't think they had the time in the evening to be able to talk about all of them. So I think that
sure these were the minutes for the previous meeting?
For the previous meeting, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But you see this meeting.
Well, we changed it all.
More things coming up. Anyway, so the agenda was approved then, and let me see, they went to a kind of a conflict right after that again with Kelly Rostner about how things are to be presented, you know, at the Planning Commission meeting and protocol to some degree. And it seems to be an issue of protocol and legalities every time that the Planning Commission meets. So it kind of slows things down a bit, but her point's well taken in a number of issues, and just wants to get the information out there, I think, and try to stimulate people.
What did they propose to change?
They just skipped on by and then went to the next subject.
Oh, that old familiar table.
They did. The table is a round table. It keeps turning.
The table is groaning.
It is groaning. They said, okay, call to the public for agenda, for items not on the agenda. And again, normally you'd see people looking at their shoes, but you had a couple of people that came forward. One was Bruce Myers, who is the husband to Kelly Rostner, and he said that the Planning Commission needs to review the master plan and be more stringent with following the plan. He said that there's 400 acres of horse country that is in jeopardy just due to the approach that the Planning Commission is taking, and he's not happy with that.
Are they in the process of doing their 5-year review?
Well, actually, it's supposed to be done every 5 years, and it's been 7 years. So yes, the answer to that would be yes.
It's very ripe.
It's very ripe. About to fall from the proverbial tree pretty soon. Anyway, it's going to happen, and that's a subject that they want to discuss in future sessions. Compost processing plant was a question. He said that there's somebody who's interested in doing that out in this agriculture country horse area, and is that really a good fit, for that area? He thinks not. And water district expansion, is it legal to expand the water district? You know that they just moved into the school district in some other areas. They ran new
It's
piping.
sort of like what they used to call a fait accompli. It's done.
It's done. It is done. And let the water drip. I mean, let it run. It is running.
Or is this for future reference?
Well, I think it was a concern that they are expanding their water capabilities.
They being the township.
Township.
Right.
Yeah. And so he's concerned about that. Then he sat down, and then Mr. Rossner, who happens to be the father to Kelly Rossner, he stood up. I think they had a family reunion.
I think
the other
so.
night. Anyway, so he stood up and he said that, let me see, the minutes, of course, were not correct. He agrees with that statement that Kelly made earlier. Wording in the minutes, let me see, he said that, and there was something in the minutes that the wording said that actually attacked the integrity of the commissioners. And he said, we didn't use any profanity, the people that came before the mic. And he said, and there was no attack. He says, so in the minutes they indicated that attack was made upon the commissioners. And he said he objected to that. So that was one issue that he discussed. He said 130 acres used for institutions out in the horse area, country area, was a no-no, and he was concerned about that. He said, young
Is horse
person-
country kind of grandfathered in as perpetual, or what?
No, it's agricultural area, and it just became that. And of course, it seems to be quite substantial within Oxford Township. Quite prevalent. It's not going to go away.
I mean, is it part of the master plan that is horse country and shall always be horse country?
Master plan shows it as agricultural,
Which could be anything.
Which could be anything. You want to grow wheat, you want to grow whatever.
I mean, you
want to grow horses, you grow horses.
You want to grow pigs.
Cows,
You could grow pigs, cows, whatever you want to
turkeys,
do. Yeah.
pumpkins, whatever.
Or is it specific?
No, it's not. It doesn't tell them what they can grow. It's just zoned agricultural out in that area.
Okay.
There's no such thing as zoning horse country. I don't think. Maybe it is in Texas. Maybe it is in Arizona. I don't know. But not here in Michigan.
Okay. Just want to be sure. I don't know about these things.
Yeah. Look
You're more familiar with this stuff.
Hey, Lone Ranger, he rides right through town. I mean, you got to protect that guy,
Well, it's the guy that follows him with the little pickup cart.
Yeah, that would be the guy you got to protect. Yep.
Mission control.
He said his final statement was that ordinances are there in place and should be put in place to protect, those properties for the owners. And he's right about that. So anyway, he sat down and they asked for commissioners' comments. And of course, we discussed commissioners' comments. Should they be made up front like this, or should they be made later on, in the meeting, right?
Is there a place?
There's a place wherever they want to put it.
No, but there's nothing on the agenda that specifically makes their...
Yeah, it's pretty much up to the chairman where he places it
Right.
on the docket.
But it's not specifically in the agenda.
No.
He said with great confidence.
Talk about confidence. We'll be back right after this one, folks.
There's a lot of history to Oxford. Hidden around every corner, deep in every crack, and sometimes right in front of you, waiting to be discovered. If you just dig a little, you'll find the great history of our beautiful town. Welcome to Historic Oxford.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are talking about the Township Planning Commission meeting that occurred the other evening. And they asked for commissioners' comments, and Kelly Rossner spoke up, of course. And she was concerned about protocol, the rules of order, and in which things are presented, to the Planning Commission, and the legalities involved with it. So, I mean, it was a topic that went on for a while. She also pointed out that the master plan must be reviewed again, and they need to stick to what they have in the master plan somewhat.
It being 7 years into their 5-year recycle.
Yeah. So, is there a master plan? Yeah, it's there. How old is it? Well, okay. That's what the questions were, and so anyway. She pointed out that if you don't follow it, you end up with poor zoning and that kind of thing, and poor planning. So those points were well taken under advisement. And then they went into a pre-hearing, and the hearing involved a PTO properties.
What's PTO?
PTO is a developer. And their project is Beehive Homes. Remember we talked about the retirement?
Parent-teachers.
Oh, PTO? Yeah, actually, that is kind of confusing to some degree, but they're from out of state, I believe. So
what do they know?
Yeah, right. Maybe they don't have PTO out of state.
That's true.
Could be. Okay. Anyway.
It's not even a power takeoff, is it?
Right. Well, the name of the company is Beehive Homes. And I think they're out of Iowa.
From which PTO comes.
Right, PTO. And Beehive Homes is a franchise thing.
Oh, okay.
So they could be all over the nation before they're done here. But anyway, they wanted to build these units.
That's
these
out on Waterstone, isn't it?
Yeah, they want to build, no.
No, it isn't.
No, this is on Gateway Drive.
Which is
just
where?
Off 24.
Oh.
Yeah, you go by there, it's on the right, next to the hospital area there. The medical center.
Yeah.
Okay, you know now, huh?
I know now.
All right, we got it.
I have been enlightened.
Right. And what they're looking for here is 4 buildings housing 20 single units in each of the buildings. And let me see what else they got here.
Weren't they going to have like a 3-story affair?
No, this is going to be a single story.
Single story?
Yep.
Okay.
Single story development. And let me see. Current zoning is office right now. And so they'll have to change the status if they decide to do that. But there's a lot of things that went down the road here, so we won't even get into that. Okay? A lot of discussion went on. And they went into a public hearing, and Bruce Myers spoke up, and he said to review. He said he thought it was a good idea to actually have a facility like this, but there were a number of retirement facilities within the area already, and that they needed to review the possibility of either accepting or denying. Mary Ann King came in. She's a resident of Stony Lake Condo. She has a condo over there. And she's concerned about the traffic volume that would be generated.
From how many units?
Gateway Drive. 3 buildings with 20 units in each building.
Oh,
and
60.
Yeah, it would. And that road is already pretty congested. By the way, they said, did you know that road is gravel? And how could it be gravel if it's a commercial zone area? According to requirements and ordinances, it was supposed to be paved. Well,
Oopsie.
back then, back then they didn't do that, and there's probably reasons why they did. They must have had a PUD or something that came along that allowed them to do what they did. But it was pointed out that if it's upgraded, in other words, if they were allowed to put there, they'd have to have a cul-de-sac for the fire trucks to get around, rather than a T at the end, to back out and around. And they'd also have to pave it, put in gutters, and all the things required, for that road to bring it up to standard.
Now, is that road used by other facilities?
Oh, yes, used by others.
And would they be like a special assessment district to do that for them?
You're right on cue. That's probably what would happen.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Okay. So anyway, that was what's going on with that particular location. And there was another fellow that stood up, and he's actually a real estate agent, actually representing this group to some degree. But he felt that it was a good, favorable facility to have, in that particular location. Of course he would.
Because
And
Oxford cares about their senior citizens.
They do, yep. And I mean, you just don't want them wandering around, as you would say, willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly.
Right. You want to keep them all housed in one area.
And if they speed up, it's pell-mell.
Right. As long as they don't get out. Ooh. And disturb the killer dogs on the street. They're all set. Right? Got it. Okay. Unfinished.
Oh, no, keep going.
Right, I'll keep going on this one, but we're going to revisit that little rascal in just a moment. There's unfinished business was another project, and that's rezoning 4.5 acres and 2.7 acres. Now we're going to talk about Waterstone. That's one that you want to jump in on, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay. Well, Waterstone is quite a subject. They want to change it from C1 to RM, which is multi-family. And let me see what else came in there. The company is Contour Development.
Where is this located in Waterstone, or the proposal is?
Just as you turn off 24. Trying to think of the name of the road, but it's the main road that comes right into Waterstone. And it's off to the right.
Market Street?
Yeah, Market Street, that's the one.
That one.
You remember us talking about it, right?
Sure.
You do. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, if you look off to the right, there's vacant property in there, and that's where they're considering it.
Okay.
And the gentleman that was there to speak, for Contour Development Group, LLC, he said that they've downscaled things in terms of the number of units that they're talking about. They're now looking at 56 units. I think originally they were looking at like 67 in that neighborhood. So they're going to reduce density, which is what the township really wants them to do. Fewer ants.
Why do I think they'll come back later?
They could very well do that. I'd come back and haunt them, I guess. But anyway, so he said that they'll also go with a minimum number of bedrooms per unit, as required. So that would be a concern also. So now everybody has a car for each of the bedrooms.
As in one or more?
As in one or more, yeah, as in one or more. Okay, so anyway, the move was to postpone until new complete site plans could be available. As you know, they don't have complete plans at this time, and it was pointed out. And so that the spokesperson felt pretty well assured that that was not an issue, that they would put together a proper site plan for the next meeting. They said, remember that the township said no to rezoning. So they have to come back with something that's going to fit in there. And they're looking at a PUD, a PUD.
Planned Unit Development.
Got it. I was waiting for you to chime in there. You
Sure
did
you
good.
were.
I was. Yep. And some of the things that they're going to be concerned with, of course, is the density, the buildings, what are they going to be like in terms of appearance, that kind of thing. In other words, architectural information. And also, is there going to be lake access granted, for these? And the motion was then that the gentleman would put this together, and this was put on the table until they came back, with the proper information for the site plan. And that's pretty much it.
To be continued.
Yes, we'll be back right after this, folks.
Hi, it's Connie from Connie's Kitchen. I just wanted to remind you to watch us on OCTV and Uverse and
Okay, cut.
this is Connie from Connie's Kitchen at Treetop Lodge, reminding you to watch my program on OCTV and on Charter and
Cut.
Hi, it's Connie from Connie's Kitchen here at Treetop Lodge, reminding you to watch us on OCTV and YouTube and Charter and
Alright, cut. I think you forgot your lines, Connie.
I don't have lines.
Should have called lines.
Lines, there we go. Lines. Okay, 3, 2, 1,
Here we
me.
go. 3, 2.
Join me here at Treetop Lodge. This is Connie from Connie's Kitchen, reminding you that you can watch us on OCTV and YouTube, Charter Channel 199, Uverse Channel 99. Can you imagine if we had to go through this every time? Yeah, right? Okay, see ya. This is Connie from Connie's Kitchen here at Treetop Lodge, and I want to remind you to join me here at the Lodge for Connie's Kitchen on OCTV, on YouTube, on Charter Channel 199, on Uverse Channel 99, and enjoy the show.
Canine Stray Rescue is Oxford's own local dog rescue. Call them at 248-628-0435 or go to their website, dogsaver.org, and click on the Canine Stray Rescue League link.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kinney.
And this meeting that we had at the Oxford Township Plan Commission meeting was a really long one. And the issue that came about was the street just off 24.
Market?
Yeah, the one that we were talking about in terms of the retirement facility.
Oh,
That was voted on. It was turned down.
that was Gateway?
That was Gateway, on Gateway Street. That was turned down on Gateway Drive because it didn't fit the PUD requirements, for that location. So the answer to them is no. So you won't see a development going on over there because it won't be sent to the township.
No, absolutely no, or until you come back with something better, or
No,
what?
no is no at this point.
Oh, okay.
They pointed out that there's other properties that would be more inducive, putting this,
Conducive.
that one, inducive and conducive.
I
You know what
see.
that is?
What? Inducive?
Ensign.
I don't know about inducive.
Ins and outs.
I see.
Anyway, so it's going to be no in, and if they want to continue an in, they have to find another location. And that's what it came down to. So,
Do they own that property right now?
no,
They don't.
I don't think so. I think they have probably a deposit on it.
Okay.
And I think it's contingent,
All right.
on approval. That would be my best guess. And they didn't get into that either, because that's strictly detailed information between the developer and the property owner. Okay, let's talk about the next one, shall we? We're going to make it
Okey-dokey.
quick, though. This is the Oxford Area Cable Communications Commission meeting. Sue Bassard is the chair. Charlene Southerby sits on that board. Lori Fisher, who's the treasurer, and she's from Addison Township. And Bill Dunn, who is the supervisor of Oxford Township. And Ed Hunwick sit on that board.
He's also from Oxford Township.
Yep, and also William Service, who's their station manager, and of course you sit on that board, and Terry Stiles, kind of wanders around in the audience
Yes.
and helps. Okay, they did the pledge. The agenda was covered. Let me see. Any public information? Nothing. We scamper through this quickly. Bills for July 24th through August 21st, which you have something to do with that.
Yep.
$42,628.61. Right?
That's right.
Okay. Unfinished business, budget information that the treasurer is waiting to receive, had not received it, so she asked to set it aside. Correct? Close enough?
Close enough.
Okay. New business.
He was waiting for information from the audit.
Yes. Very, very well done. Drone insurance. That was a big issue that they want to talk
boy.
about. We have a drone. They're going to fly the drone.
He's been droning on forever.
Yeah, except you can't fly the drone until you have insurance. You don't want to run into people. Anyway, you
We
shouldn't
have
anyway.
this little drone for which you had to get a pilot's license, a small plane pilot's license.
Pretty much. So anyway, we did it. And what happened is I drew the small straw. He came in second.
I see.
Anyway, so it's done. We have a license. We just don't have insurance for it yet.
Right.
And you did quite a research for that. And
No.
you came up with several companies. And one that looked rather tantalizing. That's a word, right?
Right.
Verify.com.
Verify.
See, now I knew you did correct that.
See.
That's why I said fry.
And it's a pay per use,
Okay, it is.
which is kind of unusual.
Yeah, and we thought that would be an inexpensive route to do it, because we're not going to fly that many hours. But let's say if you run a half hour, you pay for the half hour. You don't pay for the whole insurance policy for the full year, which is sound pretty good to us. But in the long run, it was turned down. Yeah, you did your best argument, though.
I
I
know.
thought you did well. You can catch more of that on octv.org. Lori Fisher made the motion that they go with the standard policy, insurance policy, what was the carrier that we use now for the station. And what's the name of that company?
It's Gandolfi, but they subcontract out to,
Yeah.
I think it's called Tokyo
They
Marine.
pretty much all do that.
Yeah.
But anyways, for $875, and that was approved. So we will have insurance here on the drone, and we'll see our little drone flying around the neighborhood. Let me see. Facility study was the next subject, and several areas that the station is looking at, or the communications is looking at, to house the studio. One is at the Village location building that
Two
they
of
have
them are
now.
at the Village.
Yeah, One is an area that was encompassed by
The old township
the old
offices.
township offices, and the other one was
The Parks and Rec
Parks
offices.
and Rec, which has a
now
new
moved
facility.
to their little Taj Mahal out on Seymour Lake
Seymour
Road.
Lake Road, yep.
Very nice facility, by the
Yep.
way. You should go out and visit.
And that's the other location. Parks and Rec have encouraged us, the station, to move our facility there. And they have a great opportunity for us there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think. We would build the building, station would, which we have the funding to do. They would provide the property, no cost to us. for
And
that.
we would be located adjacent to the new community center, which is
Right.
we went out and saw that yesterday, and it was really
It's
quite
quite
nice.
a center that they have
Absolutely.
there. Yep. Ron Davis gave us a little tour and his office staff.
Yeah.
And you folks that are interested in seeing the new facility out there, you pretty much paid for it. But Ron Davis, he watches every penny that goes through that facility.
Needless to say, he got a lot of bang for his buck.
Yeah, go on out, contact them. They'll give you a tour, for the community center and for their offices and so forth. Very nice operation, and Ron Davis and his crew did a great job putting it together. So anyway, it looks like at this point, cut to the chase, is that they approved additional study to see what the cost would be in
Right.
terms of architectural requirements and cost to build the building.
And you talk about a well-attended meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Mike McDonald from Leonard was there.
Yeah.
Bruce Pearson from Addison Township was there.
Well, they all have an interest in it.
Yeah.
So, and actually Bruce Pearson stood up and he said to some effect that, you could remodel a building if you want, but you're just still going to have an old building, old smells, that kind of thing.
And who knows what lies beneath.
Right. And he said the township of Addison really made a smart move in doing what they did, virtually reconstructing everything. And he said that a new facility would really make more sense, he said, than taking an old facility and trying to rebuild it. So it was kind of nice, his input, And let me see, what else happened? Oh, Lori Fisher figured out the cost for it, but figures we know aren't, up to par in terms of what the project could really cost us by the amount of maybe $150,000, $200,000, or $150 to $200 per square foot difference.
Oh, yeah. It was quite a wide...
I see a wrinkle forehead.
There was quite a wide gap in their two estimates.
Yes, there was. So anyway, Ron Davis said that his facility, the one that he built, cost $99 a square foot, which included all the electrical changes, the connection to the septic field that they have, and enlarging the septic field so to accommodate, the space that they have. And so he said he felt that using local contractors, which we're all for here, to help build the studio building, that he could keep the cost down pretty much too. And they said, well, what if something happens to your studio, in let's say 30 years from now? And Ron Davis says, yeah, look, I'll make it easy for you. We'll have a nice building there. He said, we'll just buy it back.
There you go.
Took care of that question, didn't it? Or
Called
complaint.
reintegration.
Yeah, right. But anyway, we're going to be around for a long time, folks.
Yeah.
Been here for over 20 years now, so wouldn't worry about that one. And our viewership keeps getting larger all the time. And you can catch us again on OCCTV.org and a number of our programs that we have there. Plus, also, you can go to YouTube.
YouTube, there's a lot of stuff out on YouTube. A lot.
Right.
But if you want an easy way to find a particular program, it's probably better to go to our website because everything is organized in reverse date order, and there's a lot of silos of information dealing with the township, the village, sports, etc.
Speaking of silos, what's going on?
Oh, this little silo said,
Okay.
on 9/11 at 7 o'clock, the Oxford Township ZBA is meeting, as well as at 7 o'clock, the Village of Oxford ZBA. Check both, because sometimes they cancel. At 7 o'clock that same day, the Village of Leonard Council is meeting. On 9/12 at 6 o'clock, the Addison Township Planning Commission. And at 6:30 that same day, the Village of Oxford Council. At the same time, the Oxford Board of Education is meeting at Oxford High School. And on 9/13 at 7 o'clock, the Oxford Township Board is meeting. And on 9/14 at 7 o'clock, the Oxford Township Planning Commission is meeting. And at 6 o'clock, the Addison Township ZBA. Once again, check.
There's lots going on.
You betcha.
I'm Elgin Eccles.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
Catch you next time right here on Minutes by Minute.
See you then.